Hi Anand, this is Alex from AutomyzAI. Is now still a good time to talk?
Yeah, it's a good time to talk.
Thanks Anand. You mentioned you're looking at lead management to improve lead response timing, and you're currently using HubSpot. Can you walk me through how your team handles incoming leads today? What's the typical flow when a new lead comes in?
Okay, so right now our leads coming from our website, how the data and how it has moved from one step to another step. Here is the hot leads. Here is this. So lead, phone number, outcome, qualification, next actions, Airtable lead ID, and the summary. This all the thing is here. A few weeks ago, we made a video on why speed to contact is one of the biggest factor affecting the lead conversion. The research was very clear. Businesses which respond quickly converts more leads than the businesses which keeps on waiting. After that video, we kept asking ourselves one question. If responding quickly is that much important, then why businesses are still relying on manual processes after a lead comes in? So this question started this implementation project. Just imagine someone comes onto your website, he fills out the contact form onto your website. Now, this operating system is going to call them. It is going to be a kind of a discovery call. So in this discovery call, they were going to identify the problems which they are facing, why they have tried to connect with us. It will identify all the problems, all the pinpoints, it will try to solve them, and based on that, it will identify if it is a good fit or not. If it is a good fit, then it will try to convert them onto your meeting. So once the meeting is booked, at least you can talk with them, you can solve the problem, and then potentially convert that lead into your paying customer. So after that, it will book a slot onto your calendar. Not only that, this all the information, that pinpoint, lead temperature, then the minutes of meeting, then the qualification status, and all this everything, all the data which we required after the conversation, it is going to be directly updated onto your CRM so that you will having the track of that lead. And not only that, once the meeting is booked, so to respond that quickly, to assign one manual sales rep to that, we are going to use the Slack, and this we are going to inform onto the Slack so that the sales rep will keep the track of that person, and it will keep the track so that this lead is not going to escape from your hands, and you are going to convert that lead. So the video structure is going to be like this. Firstly, I'm going to show you the how this workflow is going to be, how the system looks like in action. Then the most important part of this video, I will be showing you the architecture, how this architecture will be. Like how should be the table structure, how should the data flow from one step to another step, and based on that, we are going to design this workflow, and this designing part is going to come into the architecture. And finally, I will be walking you through the n8n implementation of this operating system so that you can also implement this for your business. So let's hop onto our screen and let's see how the architecture, how the work is moving between the system, what we have used, and how we are doing this. So firstly, I will give you the overview from the bird's eye point of view. So firstly, the visitor is going to land onto our website. Then he's going to fill out the contact form. Then he's going to click on submit. And once the call will be submitted, this data will be updated into the Airtable. So so that we will be having the knowledge of the whoever fill out the form. After that, one qualification call will be triggered using the help of VAPI, so that it will do the qualification part. This AI service agent is going to converse with that persons, and it will qualify based on the few questions. It will identify their problems. It will identify the bottlenecks, what they are facing. It will identify, and it will ask whether whatever the budget they have, whatever the revenue they are generating, and whatever the tools which they are using. And based on that, it is going to identify many things. So once the call is ended, then end of call webhook will be created. End of call webhook is like the next part, the intelligence layer, whatever we are doing. The intelligence layer is going to extract the details and update the CRM, notify on the Slack, send the email. This kind of stuff is doing this. But to notify that this workflow should happen, we have registering one webhook into the VAPI. So for that, we need to register end of call webhook onto the VAPI. Then LLM extracts the intelligence, then it will identify the temperature of that lead. And after identifying all this information, it is going to update the CRM, call record, Slack, and also it will identify the next action, whatever the next action should be taken by the sales rep for that lead. So this was the overview. Now let's go deep into this. This workflow, this overview can be divided into the four stages. The first stage is capturing the leads. So firstly, someone is going to visit the website, then he's going to fill out the contact form and lead will be created in the Airtel. Then the next part is stage 2. In the stage 2, the qualification will be happen. So it is going to trigger the WAPI call, and live discovery conversation will be going on. And after the stage 2, next step is intelligence layer and routing. Intelligence layer is going to be called once the call is ended.
and LLM is going to create the summary outcome and the lead temperature. And after that, the CRM, call records, slacks, and another actions will be taken. And finally, the human close. So next actions will be given to the human so that human can take the proper actions. So what exactly LLM is going to extract and why it matters? So LLM is going to extract executive summary because it is a fast grip, so sales can act without listening to the full conversation. And then MOMs, so it is kind of a bullet points from that call. Then the qualification status. So qualification on the qualification status, we have three things: qualified, partially qualified, and not qualified. And based on that, it is going to take the action. Then the lead temperature, either it is a hot, warm, or cold. Then the pain points. So what were the pain points which you discovered during that call? Then the recommended action. What sales team should do the next? Then the primary outcome from that call. Primary outcome can be meeting is booked, callback is requested, or the follow-up is created, or handoff is done, or the terminal status. Then the when the once if the meeting is booked, then we are extracting the IOC rate for what time the meeting is booked. So based on that, we can agreed on the when the meeting is booked. Then the CRM nodes. So CRM nodes will be created so that this clean data can be directly stored into the Airtable. So let me explain you how the work is going to be moved between our system. So this is the flow diagram. This is the architectural flow diagram that how the data is going to be, how the flow is going to be. So like what we are actually doing. This is you can consider this as a pseudo code. So first, once the call will be ended, then via this webhook, we are going to get notified. Once we get notified, we are taking that data and we are normalizing that payload. Once this is normalized, then we are checking whether this transcript is valid or not. When the transcript is valid, then we are giving that to our brain, that is the LLM structure for the LLM structure extraction. So it is going to have one structure schema, and based on that, this LLM is going to act and extract the proper information, whatever we needed. And next step is going to be the guardrails. So we are doing the guardrail because we cannot always dependent on LLM. LLM can make the mistakes. Before that, we need to create the guardrails. So we have created the guardrails. We are extracting the that means whatever the extraction is done, we are validating that if it is valid or not. If it is valid, then we are updating or creating that lead into the our Airtable. We are updating that data, that is the temperature and whatever the summary and whatever the data is created or the call logs, whatever it is. So we are updating that. Then if the record was not present, then we are creating the call record. Then after that, after updating this thing, we are notifying on the Slack so that the salesperson, the salespeople will know that something has come and this has some priority. And based on that priority, it should take this kind of next action. So for right now, we have created one channel that is a hot list, and we are going to update onto that channel. We have some business rules so that we can identify whatever the primary outcome from that call. So for the primary outcomes, we have created multiple outcomes like meeting is booked, callback is requested, follow-up is required, human handoff, status outcome. So this kind of outcomes we have, and from any call, this kind of outcomes we can have, and we can write that onto our logs. So we are not just updating the CRM, we are not just informing on the Slack. We are also doing the guardrailing. We are also logging the errors. We are logging the steps so that we have the all the knowledge of the logs, and we have all the guardrail. Let's see how the table structure which we have created. So the table structure is going to matter because how we are storing that data, how that data is moving, that is very important. So we have these multiple tables. We have actually 5 tables. Leads is the primary table, and another others are the supporting tables. So in the leads, we have created these columns: full name, company name, phone number, status, lead temperature, likely pain points, recommended actions, and qualification summary. And the another table is workflow logs. In that, we have the workflow name, lead, action, status, timestamp, execution time, call ID, and error. So it is going to log everything related to our workflow, whatever the executions have happened. So this is going to be have a one-to-many relation. Then the lead activities. So whatever the lead has done, so whatever the activities it has done, we are updating that activity into the lead activities table. So it is also going to have the one-to-many relation. Why one-to-many relation? Because one lead can do multiple things, multiple activities can be there. Similarly, the next table is the calls. In the calls, we have created the multiple columns. That is a call ID, lead name, phone, lead record ID, recording URL, transcript, summary, extracted, structure extraction, duration seconds, outcome, timestamp. So this all the things will be there, and it has also has a relation, and it is also one to many relation. So leads has the calls, and for one lead there can be the multiple calls. Because of that, it's one to many relation, and the primary key is call ID here. Then the task. So for one lead can generate the multiple tasks. For the one lead, there can be very multiple tasks. So for that also, there is one to many relation, and we have created this table lights. In that we have the multiple columns. The columns are name, type, status, priority, due date, owner, lead record ID, call ID, and notes. This is our table structure, and this is the table structure we have created. So this I have already explained that we can have this kind of primary outcome. So meeting is booked. If the meeting is booked, then the calendar, then email and lead status will be updated. Then the callback is requested. So it will create one task for callbacks, and it will notify the sales for the attention. If the follow up is required, then it will create a follow up task, and optional email will be created. Handoff. So it will create one task for that. Human handoff is urgent. Then after that, we have some uh, outcomes also, different outcomes like wrong number, not interested, disqualified lead, no answer, voicemail if it is an existing customer. So after that, after this primary outcomes, all these primary outcomes, we are going to update the lead status. So we have seen the table structure, outcomes, then the pseudocode. Let's see how the data is moving between the system. First, the data is coming from our website. Then this data is going to be the going to the VAPI for the qualification call. So it is going to here also we are going to get some data like the transcript, call meter data, recording URL. After that, it is going to be passed on to the LLM after that call. So pinpoint, qualification, executive summary, temperature, primary outcome, meeting, this all the thing will be extracted. So here also we are generating some more data. And after this all the data, whatever the data here we have generated, we have available that after the call on this last stage. In the last stage, we are going to update that data like the Airtable tasks, Airtable leads, calendar, Airtable calls, then the workflow logs, and Slack. So this is how the work and the data is moving between the systems and between the workflows. Now let's see. Let me show you how this system is created. Let me show you the n8n workflow now. So let's see how it is working in action. So firstly, we have created this website. So this is our official website. On this website, we are going to fill some data, and after filling that data, after filling my mobile number, it should trigger this lead response workflow. This lead response workflow is like this webhook. This webhook is going to call whenever the form will be submitted. That fields will be edited. Then this will be passed to LLM to research about the company. And after that research, it is going to create one lead record into the Airtable. And parallelly, it is going to schedule one call, and it will call using the VAPI. Let's see how it works in action. So on our AutomyzAI.com website, we have just filled out this form. We have described what we need, what problem we are facing. Right now, we are not able to respond to leads on time, and manual submitting data into our CRM is currently manual, which consumes time, also loss of data. My name is Anand, email address is this one, mobile number, and currently we are using the HubSpot, and business monthly revenue is this much. So this was already submitted. Let me refresh this. Yeah. Just click on this get your automation plan here, and just clicking on this. You're facing problem with responding to leads within time. Also updating CRM manually, and between this process we have loss of data. My name is Anand, email address is this one. Just let me add my mobile number. So just add any tool here and add any range. So
When I click on the submit button, then that workflow will be called and we will receive one call onto our mobile phone. So now let me just click on this. Now we have submitted. Now this workflow is going to run. It is going to create one lead and it is going to trigger the VAPI workflow. So now here you can see that we just got this call here. So let me just answer this.
Hi, Anand. This is Alex from AutomyzAI. Is now still a good time to talk?
Yeah, it's a good time to talk.
Thanks, Anand. You mentioned you're looking at lead management to improve lead response timing, and you're currently using HubSpot. Can you walk me through how your team handled incoming leads today? What's the typical flow when a new lead comes in?
Okay, so right now our lead is coming from our website. So whenever someone fills out the form, that data is will be get stored into our Excel sheet. We are using Excel sheet as our database, and after that, our one representative is putting that data back into CRM. And once that is done, then our sales team is going to know that some leads has come and they have to do some action. So right now, this is the process.
Thanks for explaining that, Anand. It sounds like leads go from your website form into Excel, then someone manually enters them into HubSpot, and only after that does your sales team get notified to follow up.
Right.
Where are you seeing the biggest delay?
So
Got it. Where do you feel the big?
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Anand. Thanks, Anand. Where do you feel the biggest delay or bottleneck is happening in that process? Is it the manual entry from Excel to HubSpot, or is it more about how quickly the sales team is notified and follows up?
So actually, it is both.
That makes sense. Manual entry can definitely slow things down, and any lag in notifying the sales team adds to the delay. If you could automate parts of this, what would be the ideal scenario for your team? For example, would you want leads to go straight from the website into HubSpot with instant notifications to sales? Or is there something else you'd want to see in that flow?
No, whatever you mentioned, that's correct. I wanted that only.
Understood. So ideally, leads would go directly from your website form into HubSpot automatically, and your sales team would get notified right away. No manual steps in between. Have you tried any automation tools or integrations so far? Or is this your first time looking into automating this process?
It is first time we are looking for that.
Thanks for sharing that. AutomyzAI specializes in connecting tools like website forms and CRM, so automating this flow is definitely something we can help with. Is this something you're hoping to solve soon, or are you still in the early research phase?
We are trying to solve this.
Got it. So you're looking to move forward soon. Are you the main person who would decide on a solution like this, or is there anyone else on your team who need to be involved?
I'm the one.
Thanks for clarifying. Just so I understand, have you had a chance to look into what solutions like this typically cost? Or would you want someone from our team to map out the options and pricing after a quick discovery call?
So we will talk about the pricing later.
Absolutely. We can cover pricing once we've mapped out the details and made sure it's the right fit. Would it be helpful to set up a short discovery call with someone from our team to walk through your current setup and see how we can automate this lead flow? If so, do mornings or afternoons usually work better for you?
I think morning will work better for me.
Great. Thanks for letting me know. Is there a particular day this week or next that you prefer for a short morning call? And just to confirm, what time zone are you in?
I'm in India Standard Time Zone, and tomorrow works fine for me.
Perfect, Anand. I'll have someone from the team reach out to confirm a morning slot for you tomorrow, India Standard Time. Thanks for your time today. We'll follow up shortly with the details. Have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. So that was our call, and this is how it converted that to a call. So now let's just see that how our workflow perform here. Let's go to executions. This is executed at 7:26. It is just loading, and this is our second workflow. Let's say execution for this also. This is still running. Let's see the database. So if it has created or not, if it has created a new lead or not. Because whenever the form is submitted, at the time we are calling and we are also setting one, as we are creating one lead into our lead database table. Yes, so it is saying that it has created the lead. Now let's go on to Airtable and let's see. This is the leads response table. Yeah, this is the lead response table, and it has created this record. So here, if you can see, description and all the things are here. Now let's wait till this workflow is getting completed. So now this workflow also completed. Let's copy this to editor so that we can go through this. Now we have copied this. Let's see how the work, how the data and how it has moved from one step to another step. So firstly, end of call webhook. Here we receive the data from VAPI. Then we have normalized this VAPI payload. Then we are checking whether if the transcript is present or not. If the transcript is not present, we are just simply responding with empty transcript. But if it is present, then we are doing our next step. That is the LLM structure extraction. After this LLM structure extraction, we are validating the extracted JSON. If the extracted data is valid, then we are building null safe lead fields. We are checking if the record is present or not, if phone number is present or not. If it is true, then phone number is present. It means that search the lead by phone number, attach found lead ID, then we are updating the Airtable with the information. So whenever this is updated, now let's go back onto our lead management. Just let me refresh this. So there were two entries. So they have checked using the phone number, and using the phone number, they found that this entry is already present. So they have just updated the status, lead temperature, likely pain points, and recommended actions. And what is the qualification summary? So this all the things has been updated here. So that step is done by this Airtable lead update lead. Then we are just continuing with after the lead update. We are building the call record fields. Now we are checking the if the call IDs exist. If the call IDs exist, just we are overriding this. We are just checking first if the call IDs exist. So call ID is not exist. So it will create a new record in the call table. So here they have created a new table. So let's go on to our database, go on to calls. If you can see here, the third one entry is created right now. So it has lead name, phone number, lead record ID, then the recording URL, transcript, summary, execute, structure extraction. Here is the executive summary. So everything has been updated here. Then after that, it goes to here. It is building the Slack, means notification for the Slack. So it is notifying that information on the Slack. So here on this node, it has notified that. Let's check the Slack also, what it has updated. So in the Slack, we have this hot leads channel. On that channel, we are going to update that. Here is the hot leads. Here is this. So lead, phone number, outcome, qualification, next actions, Airtable lead ID, and the summary. This all the thing is here. Then the next step is booking the call. So because in the call it is qualified for meeting book, so that's why it has prepared for the meeting. Then it has created one event in calendar and attach that event, and if required, they're sending the mail and updating the lead status. Then after that, once the meeting branch is done, it is just preparing a workflow to log that data onto Airtable, and finally we are responding with this. So let's go into the workflow logs. In the workflow logs, we can see the logs. So this was the previous one, lead, then the action, status, timestamp, and this everything with any error is there. So this is how this workflow is working. Now let's see this workflow and this n8n in detail. As I said, we have divided this into multiple stages. So likewise, we have also workflows in multiple stages. So the first one is going to be the lead response. So this lead response workflow is triggered whenever the form will be submitted onto our website. So let's hop onto our website. So this is our website. So this is our contact us form. So here we are asking for the inputs like what do you want to automate,
Then describe the problem, what is costing you, your name, email address, mobile number, tools which you are currently using, and your monthly revenue. And once they click on the send my automation plan, so this triggers the this workflow. So how this triggers this workflow? So we have created this webhook. This webhook has this URL. Let me just open this. So this URL, so this is the webhook URL, and we have connected this with our website. So whenever that is triggered, whenever the form will be submitted, then that data is going to be submitted here also. So here you can see that all the data we have got here. So once we got this data, we are just editing that fields so that we can pass that data out to the our basic LLM chain. This basic LLM chain is just researching about that particular business, and it is giving the proper outcome. So whatever the outcome is, like the company name, website, one line description, industry, business model, primary services, target customer, company summary, automation opportunity, and the confidence of our research. So we are just researching about that company for which the form is submitted. We are understanding their problems, we are understanding their services, what they are providing, and after that this all the information we are passing to our HTTP request. This HTTP request is nothing but it is the gateway to call the our VAPI voice assistant. So this voice assistant, for that voice assistant, we are passing this all the data. Here we are passing the tools, revenue, source, whatever the service they are needed, description of the company, then the business name, and also the research whatever we have done. These all the things we are passing to our VAPI. So let me show you that VAPI. So this is our assistant, AutomyzAI. So we have created this system prompt here. Firstly, I will show you that. So the first message is, so we are saying that assistant should speak first with the provided system prompt. Assistant speaks first with model generated message, right? Then we have given the system prompt. In that we have given the multiple placeholders so that our data should be acknowledged by this assistant. This is the edge case handling, closing, and everything. We have given this all the things. We have created our knowledge base, and we are passing that knowledge base to this assistant so that it has all the information about our business. Then next step, what we are doing, we are registering our webhook with this assistant. So here you can see that here we have registered one webhook here. This register is nothing but our third stage, the third stage workflow. That is, whenever a call will be ended, then what should happen? So whatever thing should happen, so this will be triggered by one webhook. So that webhook URL is this, and we are registering this here. Then after registering that, whenever this register should be triggered, for that we need to let this assistant know that when we want to call this webhook URL. So for that, here we have the server's messages. These server messages, these are the messages that will send to the server URL. So it has the multiple options like assistant started, transfer updated, function call, and anything. But we want this to be called after the end of that call. So we have selected end of call report. So this is how the we have configured the VAPI, and you need to generate the token here, your access token. Once you generate this access token, you have to put that access token in the HTTP headers. So here in the headers, you need to pass that token with the authorization. So here you can see that I have blurred this, but this is the token, and this is the HTTP request. Once you send this HTTP request, the call will be triggered automatically. So how this call will be triggered? One more step is here. We have to buy one number, and we have to register that number with our VAPI. So currently, I already have the Twilio account, and we have already registered our number with the VAPI. So this Twilio number is registered with this VAPI, and we have selected the assistant for this. So using this number, this call will be made. So here is the phone ID, and the assistant ID is on the assistant page. On the assistants, here is our assistant. On the assist, here is the assistant ID. We need both of them. So here you can see that in the JSON, in this JSON, we have not only provided this information, assistant variables, we have also provided the phone number ID, assistant ID. This is very important. And once you submit this, once you save this, then this is ready to go. And whenever the call will be triggered, it will do the conversation, and once the end of call will be uh, generated, end of call will be triggered, and at time the next workflow will be triggered. This is our end of call pipeline. So this end of call pipeline is good. Okay. So this is our end of call pipeline. It comprises of all the things: Slack notification, Airtable update, and everything. So this is this workflow. This is the second workflow. Let me zoom into this. We will go each by each. We are going to see every step here. So this is our first webhook. Firstly, we have created this webhook, and this webhook will receive the data. So this was the production URL which we have registered with our VAPI. Whenever the call will be ended, then this will generate the data. So this is the kind of data it will pass on to this system. So this is the data. This is the all data, whatever it is generated. So after getting this data, in the next step, we are normalizing this data. So in this, we have normalized the all the data from that node. Let me just open this. So this is the code which we have used to normalize this data. It is going to normalize that data. Then after normalizing the data, we are checking if the transcript is present or not. If the transcript is not present, then we are ending this workflow. If it is exist, then the next step is structural extraction. So using the LLM, we are extracting the structured data. So here we have used some prompt to extract this data, but more than this prompt, we have this output parser. Using this output parser, we are getting the data on the output proper structure. So here, if you can see the structure, okay. So this is the output structure which we needed. Execute is summary, minutes of meeting, and what all data it can have. It can have a string or none. Then current situation, pinpoints, requirement, questions asked, objection, decision, next step. Then the extracted information. In the extracted information, interested services, current tools, current process, these are outcome, budget, timeline, decision maker, urgency, integrations required, competitors, pain points, call outcome. And for the call outcome, we have created the enum because we want this only outcome. So for that, we have created this enum, and also we have in Airtable also we have created this kind of enum only to store that data. For that, we have created this enums. Then the qualification. Here also we have created the enum: qualified, partially qualified, not qualified, or unknown. Then the customer commitment. Customer commitment is high, medium, low, none. Then the reason, next steps, require. Then the meeting. For the meeting, if it is book, requested date, requested time, time zone, isolated ISO date time format, duration in minutes. Then the CRM. In the CRM, lead status, deal stage, order notes, follow up date. This all the information we have created using this structural output. Let me just copy paste the previous execution so that I can show you how it is actually looking. Okay, so this is the output structure. Yeah, here you can see that this is output structure. It is created. So pinpoints, then the requirements, questions asked, objection, decisions, extracted information, all these things are here. But we cannot always depend on the LLM because LLM sometimes can give the incorrect data or something is missing or it may hallucinate. For that, we said that we are making the guardrails. So here we are validating the extraction. If it is the extracted data is proper or not. So we are validating that. And if it is not proper, we are trying to make it proper. So here in this node, we are doing that thing only. And here you can see that we have extracted that data properly. So in the meta, we have meta object, we have these four fields, and the lead we have created, then the call data we have created. Similarly, MOM and all this information we have created here. In the next step, in the next step we are checking if extraction is valid or not. If the extraction is valid, then we are building one null safe lead fields. So here null safe lead fields we are generating. So here you can see that, so wherever the data needs to be properly set, we are setting that data instead of relying on the output given by the LLM. So this is that node. Then the next one is if the lead record is present or not. If the lead record is present, if the lead record is not present, then we are checking if the by the phone number. If the phone number is present on that lead database, because we need to make the system like the lead record should be a single. There should be no multiple records for a single lead. Okay. So we are checking by the phone number. If the phone number is found in this, then we are just updating the that particular record onto the Airtable. Or if it does not found, then we are just keeping the updation part. Then after updation or skipping the updation, we are continuing with our lead. Then if we are checking whether if this was a new lead, then we are creating the that particular record. Then if the call is already exist, so we are also updating the call records. For updating the call record, first we are building the call records here. Here we have created the call record, and this call records will be updated into the Airtable. So here you can see that in this table, firstly we are checking if the call record is exist or not. We are finding the existing call by the ID, and it will return us the that data if it is already there. And if the call record is found, then we are using this existing call record. If it is not found, then we are creating one call record. And after that, we are building this Slack alert. So whatever the data needs to be sent on the Slack, we are creating here. So here we are extracting the data. Here we are creating the Slack alert on the channel and the JSON. So whatever data needs to be created. So here the Slack alert. So it is the text. This is going to be a text, and this is going to be a channel. On the hot list, we are sending this text. So then after that, we are sending that notifying the Slack using the Slack node. Slack node is responsible for that. So we are just corrected the Slack account to this, and we have just simply copy pasted the text message here. And after that, it will update this Slack. It will show you on the Slack that how it is updating. So this is the hot list channel of our AutomyzAI. On this here, you can see that what lead is created, what was the outcome, that is a meeting book, business, then the phone number, qualification, next action, call ID, Airtable lead ID, then the summary. This lead is interested in AutomyzAI's lead management service to automate lead capture and follow. A meeting is booked for tomorrow afternoon to discuss the scope and the pricing. So this is the outcome, and we have informed that on the hot leads. So this is how we are updating the Slack. So after this, after updating the Slack, we are continuing with our different workflow. So based on this, whatever the business holds which we have created, like meeting book, callback, follow-up, humor, handoff, wrong number, not interested, disqualified, no answer, voicemail, existing customer, or the fallback. So all this is based on this business model, business rules, we are updating our data in the Airtable. So firstly, if the meeting is booked, then we are preparing the meeting payload. And if the meeting data is ready, then we are just opening our calendar, and on the calendar we are setting that date. So here you can see that we have generated the start time and the end time, and we have also created the description and the summary, and we have updated we have set up this call. We have also attaching the calendar event, and if the email is available, then we are sending the confirmation to this using this. If the email is available, then sending the confirmation email, and after that we are updating your lead waiting status. So we update this to record in the our Airtable. Once the meeting branch is done, we are just preparing the workflow log, and we are updating the workflow in the workflow logs on the table. So after that, this was the one of the flow. Then the second flow is callback task is created. So for multiple tasks, that is a callback, follow-up, and everything, we are creating the different kind of tasks. So here, if you can see that we are creating the task on the callback. If it is callback, if it is follow-up, then we are creating the task on the follow-up. If it is handoff, then we are creating the task for that. Similarly, for the disqualify, not interested, no answer, voicemail, existing customer. For this, we are just mapping the terminal status, and we are just updating the terminal status. And after this, after updating that particular task onto this, when we have to send the email, we are sending the email. And once that is done, we are just going on to the prepare workflow logs. We are preparing the workflow logs, we are updating the workflow logs. And finally, whenever this all the execution is done, then we are responding with the success to that particular window. So this is how this whole workflow is working. Let me show you the Airtable now. On the Airtable, we have generated all these logs and everything. So this is our Airtable. In that, lead management is our space. In this space, we have these multiple tables. What I've told you, that 5 tables: leads, lead activities, calls, tasks, and workflow logs. So let me just show you the first leads. So whenever the lead is generated, that data is updated into this lead workflow. So here we are updating this data. Here we have already some what data already present here. So here company name, full name, business email, phone number, and everything is present already here. So all the things what in the source here. Then we had lead code, lead temperature. This all the things which we had already created. It is not required. This was our previous data. Then the lead activity is also there. In the lead activities, we are storing whatever the activities done by that particular lead. Like I already mentioned you. Then the calls. In the calls, so whoever the call is done, so that data is already stored here. So here is the call ID. So our previous call is with Anand. So his phone number is this. Then the recording URL, transcript, summary, duration, extracted summary, this structured extraction, all the things will be dumped here, so that you can have all the knowledge about whatever happened on that call. So this is outcome and timestamp. Then these are the task table. So what are the tasks will be created for that? So that task will be updated here. Then the workflow logs. Whenever the workflow is done generating, so then this logs will be stored. So these are the logs, and this is the workflow. So here during our testing, some errors were generated, some message were generated. So we have stored that error and messages also here. So this was this, that you must provide an array of up to 25 records object. Your request is invalid. So this all the data we have stored into our Airtable. So we are utilizing this as our CRM also, and also the for logs also. I'm attaching this document, this workflow, this table, this schema, and the documentation, everything into the description of this video. You can click on that and you can just simply download that and utilize this. If you want this kind of workflows or any custom workflows built for your system, then you can simply connect with us and we will implement that for you.